Nobody is coming to save you. Not the past, not the circumstances, not the version of the world that should have been fairer or easier. The sooner that truth lands, the sooner everything starts to move. Because the gap between where most people are and where they want to be has nothing to do with talent, nothing to do with luck, nothing to do with who got the right opportunity at the right time. It comes down to one thing: what gets done when nothing is forcing it? What happens in the hours nobody is watching? What decisions get made when comfort is available and discipline is the only thing standing between the life being lived and the life that is possible? Strip everything back. No story, no reasons, no explanation for why it has been hard. Just one honest question. What did today actually look like? Not the intentions, not the plan that existed before reality showed up. What actually happened? When the alarm went off, what was the first decision made? When the moment came between the hard thing and the easy thing, that small invisible fork in the road that appears 100 times every single day, which direction did it go? Because life is nothing more than that. A long, unbroken string of small decisions that most people never stop to examine. And most people are losing in the small moments, then standing confused, wondering why nothing ever changes, why the same year keeps repeating, why the gap between the life being lived and the life imagined never closes, no matter how much time passes. The big picture is the small moments. Every morning that started with intention or started with surrender. Every hour that was invested or consumed. Every night that ended with something built or ended with the same scroll and the same screen and the same comfortable numbness that steals years without announcing itself. It all adds up, always, in both directions. Most people are not struggling because life is too hard. Most people are struggling because the daily standard is too low, and nobody is honest enough to say it. Sleeping late, not because the body needs rest, but because the bed is easier than the morning. Consuming endlessly hours of content that entertains without building, that fills every quiet moment, so there is never space left for real thinking or real growth. Reacting to everything, drifting without direction, letting the mood decide the output so that on the hard days nothing gets done and on the easier days everything still gets postponed. Because the habit of postponing has become stronger than the habit of executing. Then lying awake at night with that heavy feeling that time is moving and nothing is changing. And the goals written in January are still untouched in December. Something is wrong. Not with the world, not with the timing, not with the circumstances, with the standard. Raise it, and everything changes. The body responds to a higher standard. The mind sharpens under a higher standard. The opportunities that show up look completely different when the person showing up is completely different. That decision costs nothing to make. What it costs is everything to keep. Every single day in the moments when the standard demands something the feelings do not want to give, that cost gets paid or avoided, and the gap either closes or widens based entirely on that one choice. 90 days of non-negotiable consistency, and the identity begins to shift in ways that cannot be faked or shortcut. 10 pages a day, 45 minutes of training, 1 hour of focused work before the phone gets touched. Simple, unglamorous. Nobody applauds any of it. But stack it, and the person on the other side is unrecognizable. Not because of one dramatic moment, but because of hundreds of quiet ones that compounded while everyone else was waiting to feel ready. Simple things done consistently beat complex things done occasionally every single time.
The work done in silence stacks invisibly until one day it is not invisible anymore. Until the results speak so loudly that no excuse could ever have been worth it. The person who folds when life gets loud, that is a choice. Not a destiny, not a fixed identity. A choice. And a choice can be unmade. The person who follows through when it is hard, who does the difficult thing first before feelings get a vote, who holds the standard when nobody is watching and there is no applause demanding it, that person does not find themselves one day. That person builds themselves, one decision at a time, one morning at a time, until the days become months and the months become an identity that cannot be taken because it was earned in the only classroom that never lies. Daily life lived with intention, not motivated into existence, not wished into existence, built from discipline, from standard, from the quiet, unglamorous decision to become someone worth becoming, and then doing the work every single day to prove it. The building starts the moment the excuses stop. Get to work.